Hi and welcome to the weekly market update. It is Monday the 29th of April 2013. So in terms of news over the weekend, we saw Italy forming a government. The Prime Minister Letta formed a coalition with Berlusconi's party. Saw some positivity off of that in the markets today. However, some people questioning the ongoing stability of this coalition, whether they'll be able to get reforms through, the possibility that it could break up even within a short while. So interesting to see how that pans out. Also in terms of data that we've seen out this morning, we've had Eurozone confidence out, came in slightly weaker than expected across the board. We've also seen out the US personal income, which came in slightly weaker than expected, but then spending came in better than expected. However, overall both readings weaker than the prior. And also out of the US this afternoon we had US pending home sales, which again came in stronger than expected. So that leaves us trading at the moment with the FTSE around the 64.50 mark, the Dow around 14,782, Eurodollar about 1 spot 31, cable around 1 spot 54.96. For commodities, we've got the gold future trading around 14.73 and Brent around 103 spot 62. So we've got a busy week for data this week. Starting tomorrow morning, we have German consumer confidence out, again expected slightly weaker after all the weaker data that we've seen. Sentiment expecting to come in line with that and also come in slightly under expectations. French consumer spending is also out tomorrow, and this is expected to again come in weaker. We've also seen producer prices out of France. We also get German and Italian unemployment numbers, and then following that the reading for unemployment across the Eurozone as a whole. For the UK, we see money supply and also mortgage applications. Interesting to see the effect of money supply alongside the funding for lending scheme that the government's got in place at the moment. We saw the extension of that last week in the hope to encourage banks to push lending out to consumers, out to the private sector even further. So interesting to see how these numbers are tying together and the effects that we're actually seeing passed on. We also get Eurozone CPI inflation data, and then in the afternoon and confidence out of the US. Into Wednesday, we start off the day with UK PMI manufacturing reading. From the Eurozone, it's all quite light in terms of data, nothing really to watch too closely there. And in the afternoon, we see US ADP employment change. This will be interesting to watch because it's used as an indicator for the non-farm reading later in the week. So people will be watching that in order to see what they're expecting from Friday's numbers. We also see out of the US in the afternoon, market PMI, the final reading for that, and also ISM manufacturing. However, I think the thing to watch for on Wednesday evening is going to be the Fed minutes. Last month we saw the talk of QE tapering off from the Fed. So interesting to watch this month on the back of a month of weaker data. It's unlikely that we see talk of this tapering off of the QE, and more likely that they are going to take a stance of keeping monetary policy more accommodative for the foreseeable future. Into Thursday, we get European PMI manufacturing reading, and then we get the UK PMI construction reading in the morning. Then around lunchtime we've got the ECB meeting, so we see their rate decision and also their QE and asset purchases. Lots of people and lots of analysts and economists are calling for a rate cut of a quarter to leave interest rates at 0.5%. This is widely expected and being priced in the market, so interesting to see if they do make that rate cut. Whether they do or don't, again, we get the press conference at 1:30, and interesting to see the tone of Draghi, expecting a very dovish tone on the back of a lot of weaker data again from this month. So that will be something that people are really watching out for, and interesting to see the market reaction on the back of that. And then Thursday afternoon sees some more employment data out of the US, initial jobless claims, continuing claims. We also get the trade balance. So into Friday, we've got a UK PMI services reading as the final one of those for the week, expected largely flat. And then we get Eurozone PPI data, and then the European Commission are releasing their growth forecasts. And this is expected that they're going to have revised growth forecasts down across Europe following the IMF forecasts that we saw last week. And then in the afternoon, as I mentioned before, we've got US non-farm numbers. Expected last time they came in, we got 88,000 adding to employment, which was less than expected, and this time we're expecting a reading of around 150,000. We will also get the unemployment rate. Again, key to watch out for is the Fed has put quite a close target and dependency on what they will do on that unemployment rate. And we also get the average earnings, get factory orders, and ISM non-manufacturing from the US. So I think things to watch out for this week. Obviously, it's a big central bank focus. The Fed minutes on Wednesday evening, and then the ECB on Thursday. Okay, that's it for this week. But as usual, any feedback much appreciated. Thanks.